Hello, people. Um, my channel's been going up recently, so I'm happy about that. I just wanted to hop on the channel today to talk about um, Kanye, Lil Yachty, the rise of fascism, not the rise of fascism, but the um, proliferation of fascism through music, and the importance of counterculture. So, I feel like people who are in my generation are starting to get lazy with their music taste, and they are having a hard time finding alternatives to stuff that they already like. Cause like mostly Kanye, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Cause people just can't find stuff like Kanye apparently, even though it's very easy to find stuff like that. But yeah, people have a attachment to Kanye's albums, which I also had for a time. But after his heinous statements, I can't really stand for that. So, but yeah, he's just been putting on for fascists constantly, and still doing the same problematic behaviors that have gotten him in trouble in the past. So, I just wanted to get on and talk about Carnival. Also, Carnival, the biggest hit of the decade so far, from what it's seeming like. And I'm not including Cardi in this discussion because I don't really know. He associates with Kanye, but I don't really know if like he gets down like that. I don't know. Cardi's a fucked up person regardless. So, but yeah, Carnival. The chanting in the chorus of Carnival is a fascist group of soccer fans for Milanian soccer team, and nobody has acknowledged that. All of the imagery surrounding the song, as far as like Kanye's official output goes, is very like skinhead adjacent and fascist like football fan adjacent. And I think Kanye has learned how to say the quiet part and use fascist imagery in order to proliferate fascism quietly throughout rap culture. And I think there's continued longing for days past and art isn't as significant as it used to be or whatever the fuck. That's also part of the problem, because Lil Yachty, in his statements outside of his music, is always talking about how music isn't as significant as it used to be, or he's talking about how people don't care about music as much as they used to, or blah blah blah. And that's just because he's an old man at the age of like 26. I'm not sure how he did that, but his music continues to be good regardless of his own personal views, which I don't understand. Then he's including himself in his statements about music not being as good as it used to and people not caring as much. Lil Yachty is a representative of the people who can't let go of Kanye, who can't find new art, who don't care to find new art because they're lazy about it and can't keep the same morals when it comes to their consumption. When what you consume is very important, and whether that's like the products of abhorrent labor conditions in the global south or anything really, like if you eat like shit, you're gonna feel like shit and you're gonna look like shit. So But people need to be very, what the fuck? Recording in nature. People need to be very conscious of what you're consuming. And consuming new art is also very important to avoiding this thing that Professor Sky describes as mid-20s music death, which I'm coming up on my mid-20s in like a couple years, so I'm trying very hard not to fall into that. I'm only like 20, but it's gonna come fast, I know. But yeah, I've been keeping up with music a lot, and I don't know how Lil Yachty keeps saying those things when there's multiple scenes that are popping off currently. We got like the Michigan rap, we got some Florida stuff is popping off. Atlanta is continuing to pop off as it should. New York has had an entire like new underground installed. VA is getting attention. Everywhere is getting attention. So I think Lil Yachty just has his blinders on and refuses to acknowledge the good music that's coming out of younger people. I give my full endorsement to Xaviersobased and the 1C34, the whole crew there, because they're putting good work in, and they're very young, and they have a lot of shit to do. So I'm very excited to see what they do in the future. But Xaviersobased, he said vocally in one of his earlier songs, "I don't fuck with fascists." And that's very important to make that very clear. And his whole movement is about like positivity, and like him specifically, he's more of like a positive person, while like other members of 1C are more like negative, like Zaguap or Fresh Boy Swag, or even Netspend, to be honest. But Xaviersobased is a positive person, and he just talks about his goals and his friends and success. And I think that's an important distinction to make between Kanye talking about threesomes and millions of dollars and like just shit that we've heard from him for like the past 20 years. Well, Xavier is like bisexual, he doesn't fuck with fascists, his friends are dressing crazy, he's dressing crazy, he skates. Like, the counterculture is very obvious currently, but people refuse to go with it in order to stick with Kanye or some other bullshit. But I think people don't value the artists that are coming up currently because they think they just make TikTok music, when that's a bullshit distinction. It's just music. Like, yeah, it may be on TikTok, but so is everything else. And TikTok music doesn't even really exist at this point because UMG. But I think the Carnival song would not be as popular as it is without the involvement of Playboi Carti. And I think people are trying to give Kanye too much credit for Carti's really carrying of the hit status of that song, because Kanye hasn't had a major hit since like 2008, if we're being honest. He hasn't had like a Billboard chart-topping song like he currently does since 2008. He hasn't been at his peak creatively in over 10 years. So I think people are stuck on old sounds, and they need to realize that there's new waves coming, and it's not gonna be like 2016, because that's just never gonna happen. But 2024, the summer 2024, is probably gonna be crazy. From what I think is gonna happen, it's gonna be crazy. And people are busy talking about shit that happened 8 years ago. Like, what are we on about? It's a bunch of 20-somethings who are stuck in the past when there's perfectly good music that's still coming out. And it really gets on my nerves because, I don't know, Lil Yachty himself is also like on some Andrew Tate shit, low-key, where he's like this misogynist fuck. Even though he's got girls on his label, you would think he wouldn't fuck with women like that. But he's just like a weirdo around women, I will say. I don't know, the whole climate of the internet currently is a bit fucked with, like, I don't know. I feel like I have tumors in my brain for watching too many Instagram reels. But yeah, back on topic. There's a group of young people who are getting too lazy to find new art. And I would say, like, I feel for you, and like, it's hard to do, but it's not. If we're being honest, it's not that hard to do. I'm out in nature. But anyway, there are plenty of people who are putting good work in. That new Schoolboy Q album was fucking amazing. The new Yeet album, fucking amazing. Like, people will refuse to give rap the credit it deserves. Even rappers will refuse to give rap the credit it deserves for how good it is. Just because they wanna like reminisce about such and such period in the past. This is like some Nas shit. Like Nas with Hip Hop Is Dead in like 2006. That was a while ago. And rap is more alive than it's ever been, in my opinion. And in all aspects, like, we got Ice Spice, we got Xaviersobased, we got Netspend, we got Billy Woods, we got Rap Ferreira. We got all kinds of people. And we have more, like, inclusion in the genre than ever. And also, people like to shit on Ice Spice a lot. And I don't fuck with those people. For a very specific reason. It's because the same people who hate on Ice Spice will not criticize Kanye at all and say, oh, he made Graduation, it doesn't matter. When the entire problem that they have with Ice Spice is that she talks about being a woman, or she talks about being promiscuous. Like, who gives a fuck? That's not... It's fun. It's fun music. When has Kanye has made fun music, but he needs other people to make it for him now. Like, Kanye is a guest feature on his own albums at this point. It's like the Utopia shit. Like, people wanted Travis Scott to remake his last album. Like, what? It was never gonna be as good as Astroworld. And people try to act like it is, when it isn't. Because he was just trying to remake Yeezus. Anyway, fuck Kanye. Fuck everything Lil Yachty says. His music is good, but fuck everything he says. I hope Cardi isn't involved as much in Vultures Part 2, but from what I've seen, my hopes are dashed. But yeah, kill your idols. Don't have heroes. They're gonna end up being dickheads. I don't really know if I got anywhere with this rant, but I feel like it's necessary for somebody to say Kanye is still a fascist, regardless of anti-Semitism or not. He's still a fascist. He's still anti-black. Lil Yachty is an old-ass man at the age of 26 because he doesn't allow art to grow past his bubble when he could expand his bubble really easily. He's already like halfway there. He's just being lazy and saying that there's no good shit coming out. Xaviersobased 1C34, Osama's son. Go listen to them and report back. Shout out to Ian. Shout out to Laserdym. Who else? I'm forgetting somebody. There's good shit coming out damn near every day. Definitely every day. Because with the amount of content, the amount of stuff that gets put onto the internet every day, there's bound to be some good shit. And people need to remember that. You just have to find the good music. Music does not suck. You just suck at finding it. Anyway, I'm out.